Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studio, it's time for Family Business Radio. Showcasing outstanding family businesses and the advisors who assist them.
Good afternoon, listeners. This is your host, Anthony Chen with RadioX Financial, here listening to the show of Family Business Radio, where we highlight the origin stories of our local businesses. Today, we have two great guests. First up, Kathy Stone with Camp Bow Wow in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Anthony. Thanks for inviting me. This is so cool.
Great. So let's get right down into it. So what got you into opening up Camp Bow
Wow? We had a dog, and it went to another Camp Bow Wow, and he was very happy there. And so we kind of looked at the numbers, and about 7 years ago, my husband and I looked at each other and said, we need an exit strategy from corporate America. And so what about doing great things for dogs and their parents? And also to teach young people real life skills, because we looked around and a lot of our kids' friends didn't have them. So we use it not only to take care of dogs and their parents, but to teach our counselors how to be adults. So
after that first initial experience with that Camp Bow Wow, how was that kind of like, how long did it take and kind of percolate in the back of your minds, hey, this is something that we should explore more seriously?
A while. Yeah. I mean, our dog was 5 or 6 at the time. And so it took us about 5 years to say, we need to do something else, and thought about the business model. And actually my daughter worked at that other Camp Bow Wow, so we knew how the internal operations ran already. So pumped her for information and decided that we could do this. And so we opened up 5 years ago, 5 years in March, we've been open. So
congratulations.
Thanks.
Now, you mentioned a little bit about having your own exit strategy from kind of corporate America and eventually going to another business. Did you explore elsewhere, or was this kind of really that initial experience with was so impressive that you go, you know what, this is a good opportunity?
Yeah, we talked about franchise mostly because at our age, we didn't want to have to figure it out from the very beginning. And the cool part about a franchise is it's basically turnkey. The Camp Bow Wow franchise comes in, they help you set up the whole place. They tell you what to buy, they help you build it out. I mean, you find your own construction manager, but they come and they make sure that all the details are taken care of, all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed in terms of the operations of the business. So after that, you get to put your own spin on it, but it has to look and walk and talk and bark like a Camp Bow Wow.
So looking into that, what is it that make Camp Bow Wow as a brand or a franchise so much more different than other dog care companies?
Oh, it's very different. And basically you have to do is walk into a Camp Bow Wow and you know it's a Camp Bow Wow, and you go in the back of house area, and the other dog care places I've been in, they try, and they're good people, don't get me wrong, but Camp Bow Wow as a brand has been around for about 15 years. And so they've learned a lot of the things to do and not to do in terms of dog care, dog protection, and dog safety. So even things like we have specific cleaners we have to use because they're green. I mean, if a dog ended up drinking a cleaner and it had bleach or something in it, that would be just horrific, right? But for me as the owner to have to figure all that out, it would take a lot of time. So this way, they take care of those parts of the operations. So to me, that was a big, big plus in going with the Camp Bow Wow brand.
Certainly. I mean, especially when it comes to pets, they're an extended family member for families.
Absolutely.
Which kind of leads to the next question. So what is one key thing that you picked up at Camp Bow Wow that you probably don't see as much at other dog care companies?
Well, one of the things we have is free camper cams. It's a free app on both the iTunes and the Android platforms, and anyone can download it and see what's going on in every camp. And it's absolutely free. And you can look at the 170 camps around the United States and check on them at any time they're open. So what that does is gives us a lot of transparency to parents, because, I mean, yeah, we take care of their dogs, but at the end of the day, our service is trust. and they have to trust us with their four-legged family members. So
sounds like they can always peek in on how they're being cared for, and maybe even from the sounds of it, take a look at the facility first before even coming over.
Absolutely. And we're open every day, so you could come by for a physical tour. And we do recommend that for most of our new parents or prospective parents, because what you see on the camera is really good, but until you are in our facility, it's hard to really get it until you walk it and talk to the counselors and watch the dogs play.
Mm-hmm. So for Camp Bow Wow and your particular office here, are you guys involved also in other community and philanthropic organizations?
Yes. Well, part of the Bow Wow brand is something called Bow Wow Buddies Foundation, and it's a philanthropic portion of the brand where they raise money to pay to grants for dogs and cats' medical expenses. And they don't have to be campers. They can be anybody in the community. In fact, we've had 4 grants come through my camp for local dogs. So, yeah, it's really good. We're also involved with the Rotary Club of Lawrenceville, the Lions Club of Lawrenceville, anything we can do to help the community.
Now, if someone is looking for a reliable and trustworthy place to house their dog, how does one get started with you?
Well, most of our new parents come through Google. They Google us, look at our reviews. We've got really good ones. But again, I always tell prospective parents, go to these places. Look at them, see how willing they are to let you in the back of house. A lot of them, they let you look through a big window when you walk in, but they don't let you in back of house. I mean, even stuff like we don't upcharge to give medicines. I understand there are some places that charge like $7 a pill to administer medication, and we just don't. It's part of us, part of what we do.
Mm-hmm. So what does it take for someone who wants to bring their dog to Camp Bow Wow? Is there a whole process? Is it an interview?
Oh, yeah. Well, number one, the dogs have to be neutered or spayed if they're over 6 months old. And that's because about 6 months, the sex hormones hit the brain. And you can understand in our open play yard environment that makes it a little rough sometimes. So, yeah. So every dog has to be neutered or spayed after 6 months. And we understand that larger breeds now take a little bit more time for that. And we understand that. We will accept them as puppies up till 6 months. And then once their parents have them neutered or spayed, they're more than welcome to come back. But they come back. The initial is we call an interview. And we take the dogs into the back of the house, and we introduce them to campers who already know how it rolls in the back of house. And we introduce them and see how they do. And we realize it's not for every dog. A lot of dogs, it's just too much for them. They want to be only children, and they're happy being only children. But in our play yards, they can be one of up to, 24 in a yard. So they have to kind of like each other dogs. And we realized that the first time it's nervous because it smells like the vet and it sounds like the vet. And, so once they pass the initial meet and greet, we like them to stay at least 3 hours, if not the rest of the day. And we close at 7 at night. But the interview and the day of camp that comes with it are complimentary because we want the parents to know us, and we need to get to know their dogs. The counselors need to know the dogs' personalities.
Oh, that's okay. So kind of that initial engagement, an interview, you're not really charging. You just want to make sure that a good fit.
Yes.
Family.
Yes. Because it's about trust. And if the dogs are too anxious, too nervous, they're not going to have a good time. And so it's just not the right place. Now, another Camp Bow Wow might be a better place. Different counselors, different dogs. So it's always worth your while, again, to go check out the facility before you board your dog anywhere.
Now, since you mentioned that kind of that environment where it's similar to that, and they might start getting quite anxious, is there any tip for newcomers to kind of prepare the dog? Hey, this is not a vet. This is a hotel for them per se.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question because so many times parents will come in and say, "I'm just not sure my dog's going to do well." They're really nervous and they bark at other dogs when we're walking, and they pull and they tug, and they're really anxious. And I'm thinking to myself, you're the one that's anxious. The dog is going, oh, you're anxious. So when we do the interview, we separate the parents from the dogs, just like children. Children act differently without their parents. Same with dogs. So parents can stay up front and watch it on our monitors in the lobby, watch how the interview is going. And they'll have 7/8 of the time, the parents will go, "Is that my dog? I just met this dog. That would be my dog." Just like children, I keep telling my counselors and new parents, the only difference between a 2-legged child and a 4-legged child is that we expect these to grow up and move out. Otherwise, they're basically the same. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I think the coolest part of what I do is seeing parents smile when they watch their dog play with another dog. Because there's nothing more joyous than 2 dogs having a great time playing together. That's just pure joy.
Now, what would be one key advice that you've learned through this whole experience running Camp Bow Wow that you think would be nice to share? Something that you would have liked to know at year 1? From the original perspective opportunity, I had to take an SBA loan because it's a very front-loaded business. I wish I had known an SBA provider locally instead of having to go through corporate, which found me somebody out of state. And I learned from finance, as you know, Anthony, anytime it's so much better to talk with someone you know face-to-face and work out those details than trying to catch them on a phone or texting or emailing or whatever. I wish I'd known that. I would have changed that. Probably the only other thing I would have maybe changed, and we're kind of working on it, is being better at onboarding new counselors. Because all our new employees think, it's just playing with dogs. No, it's not just playing with dogs. There's a lot of cleaning that comes along and a lot of responsibility, because then you're responsible for a living, breathing thing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of our young people don't have a lot of experience in that until they come to camp. They find out a whole new world that they didn't know about.
That's right.
So what's the best way someone can reach out to you and contact you?
We have multiple ways. We have a Facebook page, Camp Bow Wow /LawrencevilleGA. We have a website, campbowwow.com/LawrencevilleGA. You can call us at 770-995-3500. And we're open 7 to 7 Monday to Friday, 8 to 7 on Saturdays, and split shifts on Sundays. And I do say Lawrenceville GA specifically because there is a Lawrenceville, New Jersey camp, believe it or not.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the best way to get a hold of us.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing your story, Kathy.
Thank you, Anthony.
Coming to our next guest, Maedeh Samimi with Urban Skincare Clinic. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Anthony. I'm so excited to be here.
Great. So let's kind of jump into your origin story. How did you get into the field?
Good question. So my journey to becoming an esthetician began when I started experiencing adult cystic acne. And if you've experienced this skin condition or know anyone that has, acne is a skin condition that is genetics. It can be learned to keep it under control, but there's really no cure for it. And it's a condition that can dismantle one's self-esteem. So I became determined to learn about skin on a deeper level and the way it functions so I could help myself as well as others. And so fast forward, I've been in the beauty industry as a whole for about 15 years, and I've been practicing aesthetics for 7.5 years. And I can confidently say I have chosen the right career. It's been a great ride.
Well, I know that the listeners can't see, but she's basically glowing. So if anything, she practices what she preaches.
Thank you.
Now, what do you enjoy most out of being an esthetician?
Helping my clients achieve their skincare goals and being there to help them and guide them when they take a look in the mirror at their skin and they say, wow, or that they smile, that brings me joy. Just helping them feel confident in the skin they're in. And getting to know my clients. I enjoy getting to know people and learning about their story.
Now, what is some of the common misconceptions of your field?
That's a very good question. So aesthetics, I feel like doesn't get the love it deserves. So our skin is the largest organ in our body, right? And oftentimes we kind of neglect it. We actually do need professional help with our skin, rather than self-recommending from shelves at Target what skincare products we should be using. We do need professional guidance. I always say, so I like to refer to this this example. A slim person, a thin person still needs to exercise, right? Exercising is not just for someone who wants to lose weight, right? You want to keep your part healthy. Kind of like the same thing. If you're blessed with beautiful skin, that's great, but let's maintain it and slow down the process of aging and just maintain a healthy, glowing skin. Hope that makes sense.
So it kind of also help people learn a bit or have take into practice some kind of anti-aging process?
Absolutely. So I'm all about educating. No matter what a client is in the clinic to see me, whether it's for anti-aging or clearing up their skin from hyperpigmentation, melasma, or acne, I'm all about educating them on what are some of the causes of this condition. How can we make it better, keep it under control, or clear the skin, or whatever the case is. I'm all about educating my clients so they have an understanding of why we're doing what we're doing, why I am recommending what I'm recommending for them to use at home. And here's another part, what people use on their skin on a daily basis is very important. Coming into a clinic for professional treatments is just like going to a gym and working out with a trainer. And so what you're doing with your skin at home, day in and day out, it's the diet you're feeding your skin. So let's make sure it's the proper one and it's customized to your skin. Everyone's skin is different and unique. So their skincare should be unique and customized to their skin's needs and conditions.
So it sounds like it's not something where you can just go into a store and then pick up something, as you alluded a little bit to, just off the shelf and think it'll be able to fix their issue. It sounds like you educate them as to the actual cause of the problem.
That's right. That's right.
Source.
Absolutely.
Now, who would be kind of your ideal client? Then is it someone that's just kind of tried everything off the shelf and be, so you're my last and only hope?
Yes, along with other people who want to really start learning about how to properly take care of their skin. But being realistic, skin is not going to change overnight. Just having realistic expectations. It does take time to see results. Once you start on a regimen, it's, again, just like, let's say, weight loss. You're not going to lose X amount of pounds overnight or after one session of working out at the gym or eating a salad. It's the consistency that will get you to your goal. Yeah.
So what is kind of, I guess, like a common mistake people make when caring for their skin? And they didn't know they've been doing the wrong thing until they actually come to you.
The number one thing is self-recommending what products they should be using, because they can go to Target, Sephora, these stores, just department stores, and pick off the shelf whatever looks good and feels good and smells good, but it may not necessarily be appropriate for their skin's needs. That's why they need to come in for consultation and learn about their skin type and what's appropriate for their skin. And that's exactly why there's a big difference between professional skincare versus over-the-counter skincare products. So by FDA, what's sold in stores, they're not allowed to incorporate a large percentage of active ingredients in those products, because, average person has access to those products. But what we have access to as skincare professionals, those are professional grade products. So they have the delivery system to penetrate deeper into the skin and make changes in a good way. They're formulated with nanotechnology, which is smaller molecular structure. So they're able to actually, penetrate deeper into the skin and help the condition, whatever it is.
So if someone who's kind of coming to you for the first time, what should be kind of their level of expectation? Kind of take me through the course of what it looks like being your client.
Absolutely. So I offer complimentary consultations. You'll come in, I'll assess your skin and take a closer look to determine what your skin needs. We might do a treatment that day if that person is open to it. And then I will customize a treatment plan as well as their home care regimen from there. And ideally, once a month is a good, as often as once a month is a good regimen to come in for treatments.
What is kind of the common or most common ailment that you find people coming to you hoping that you can help them with?
Aging. As we mature, we start noticing fine lines, wrinkles here and there. Skin starts to lose elasticity and collagen, and we kind of wish it would go back to the way it was. So anti-aging clients, hyperpigmentation, again, more mature individuals who maybe weren't really good with applying sunscreen in their teenage years growing up. Because it takes time for sun damage to surface, right? So it's not from last summer. If you have noticed a sun damage come up to the surface and you're noticing it now, it's not because you didn't wear sunscreen last summer. It's from years and years ago, years of damage. Acne, pigmentation, and anti-aging, fine lines, wrinkles. Yeah.
Is there anything else that someone might not know that your practice might provide services-wise?
I'll go through my menu if that's okay.
Sure.
I offer microcurrent, which is it's also known as non-surgical facelift. And it delivers results. Here's another thing. So because I'm coming from a problematic skin myself, I have made it a point to offer everything and anything in my practice that will deliver results. Everything on my menu has a purpose, and you'll notice an improvement with your skin. So I offer microcurrent, microneedling, microdermabrasion, dermaplaning, physician-formulated chemical peels, and customized facials.
So not to get too lost into the weeds, but what is microneedling?
Yeah, absolutely. Microneedling is also known as collagen induction therapy. It is where we wound the skin, essentially. We cause inflammation and we let the skin heal itself. And the skin does heal itself through proliferation and remodeling. So in return, it takes about 28 days, about a month for the skin to heal itself. But in return, skin is brighter, smoother, plumper. This is a great treatment for anti-aging, for acne scarring. It helps to smooth out those scars.
So it sounds like even if someone's had a lot of breakouts in the past and there's some scarring, it sounds like something that you'd be able to help fix, but over time.
Definitely. So anything, again, we do, it's done, it's best to do in series. So let's say we're trying to clear someone's acne or achieve a softer, smoother complexion. It's going to take time. Yes. Everybody's different. It depends on the severity of the situation, but I'm going to say, at least expect on average 6 months, at least. Mm-hmm.
Well, like you mentioned, it wasn't a problem that was caused overnight, so you can't.
Exactly. Can be fixed overnight. Exactly. Yes.
Now founding your practice and opening up, what was kind of the big inspirational driver for you to go out on your own?
So, like I said, I've been practicing aesthetics for the past 7.5 years, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. So, and I wasn't really looking to go out on my own. It wasn't until I left my last position in management with a med spa. After I left, I just had time to clear my head and try to decide what I wanted to do with my career. And I felt ready, to be honest. I felt ready to have my own clinic. And I felt like what I would want to offer in my clinic and the way I would run my business. I have seen quite a bit. I've learned what to do and what not to do. So yeah, I felt ready, and it's been great. It's been great. Love my clients, and it's nice, the freedom and being able to writing down the rules. It's great.
Now, is there any particular most memorable client experience or story you would like to share?
Oh my goodness, that is a really good question. So I recently met a new client that I'm so grateful for her for sharing her story with me. She is a breast cancer survivor, but twice. She went through it twice. She just is a special soul. I really enjoyed getting to know her. And that's what I mean. I get to build a relationship with my clients. And most of them, I mean, they feel like they're friends. It feels like we're friends. And that's so rewarding to me.
It sounds like you run your practice more than just skincare, but actually knowing, understanding your clients, and knowing them better, rather than just coming in, taking a ticket number, then okay, next.
Not at all. Not at all. It is not that way at all. No, everybody's special. And I do remember everyone's story. But for some reason, I just do.
well, that's a talent that you have.
Yeah. I guess it's my superpower. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of times people do say, oh, good memory. Because the next time I see them, we just pick up where we left off. I'll say, oh, how was your vacation? Oh, how was your daughter's foot? She hurted last time you were here. So it's so rewarding.
The little details.
Yes.
So, Maedeh, how best can someone reach out to you, whether learning more about your practice or coming to book an appointment?
Sure. I am very active on social media. They can search Urban Skincare Clinic on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Any preferred email contact, or just reaching out to you?
Email is urbanskincareclinic@gmail.com.
Okay, great. Any last parting words for the rest of the business community?
Man, I just want to thank you for having me on the podcast. This is a really cool experience. Yeah, I wish everyone abundance of business in these times.
So, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Well, this show is sponsored and brought to you by yours truly, Anthony Chen, with Lighthouse Financial, securities and advisory services offered through Royal Alliance Associates, RAA, member FINRA SIPC. RAA is separately owned, and other entities or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of RAA. Our main office address is at 575 Broad Hollow Road, Melville, New York, 11747. You can best reach me at 631-465-9090, extension 5075, or my email, which is my full name, Anthony Chen, CHEN, @LFNLLC.com. Until next time.